This one is another one that should be pretty straightforward. Fingers crossed. I made an agreement with my wife that as soon as she cleaned out the cabinet under the sink, that I would replace the kitchen faucet. She has fulfilled her end of the bargain, so now it is my turn. So we did pick up from her work on clearance this Delta nice high arching faucet with the thing that comes out that basically is like the wand. The one downside we have with this, we'll have to just deal with. It's not a big deal, but we've got 3 holes here and a 4th one here that this new one is only going to use 2 of them because it does have a soap dispenser that might take one of them. But if not, we can just get some caps for the holes. So let's dive in and get this new faucet installed. Step number 1, turn off the water. There's 1, there's 2. And next step is to try to drain the lines. Water is off. See, the head of this thing's all gross and calcified anyway, so okay. Now I believe the next step is to disconnect the water lines from underneath to the hot and cold, and I'll have to see how the wand is hooked up. And for this there may be a little bit of spillage, so we'll have some paper towels handy. All right, pretty much as I thought. I just need to get a wrench and get up here and disconnect the 2 water lines and and unscrew that big one up there to get that off, so that shouldn't be too terrible. Okay. I have a special wrench just for doing this, but I am not sure where it is, so if I need to, I will probably just use a regular crescent wrench, maybe a smallish one like an 8-inch. All right, without too much trouble, I've got the old faucet out. The sprayer nozzle just connects onto this, and you just kind of squeeze it down, maybe push it up a little bit, squeeze it down, and then it'll pop right off. It's almost like a fuel line in a car, a similar thing, a quick disconnect. And then, yeah, your hot and cold, just screw off the ends, and then there's some big kind of nuts, plastic nuts. I got one of them off by hand. The other one, this one was on really tight, and I had to get some channel locks to get it off, but I was able to get a grip on it and get it done. So we are now all the way out. So now let's open the box to the new one. Of course, this is all gross. Maybe need to clean this before we put a new one in. Okay, we're doing some unboxing here, and looks like they planned for this. They've got a cover that they use for an attachment that also covers the other 2 holes. So that's nice. And then inside, here's the weight for the wand. And here's the soap dispenser. So this will now have to go in the old sprayer area which is not the side of the sink we use for cleaning. So I'm not sure if we'll really use it. And then here's the rest of the sink, and it looks like I may not need the other lines either, because this came with lines built in. So I can probably disconnect the lines right above the valves right there, and just hook these into it. All right, so I'll take a quick glance at the instructions, make sure I'm on track, what to do and how to use the hardware properly, and see if I can finish getting this hooked up. The dinner bell has rung, so if this won't take too long, I'll try to do it first and then go from there. All right, so step one is to put this plate and escutcheon into place, like so. Okay, step two, I will need both hands for, but it is to put the faucet through the hole, feed that through. So let me do that, and then I will get on the underside for the follow-up step. All right, I'm almost ready for step three. I tried to get the water lines out of the way, and this one, which I believe is the hot, was not a problem. This one, however, seems to, this one right here, seems to still have some pressure in it, and it doesn't seem to be stopping. So I may have to do kind of an attempted quick change on that one. So I'm gonna go ahead with the official step three, which is putting these two things on. They go over the lines and up to the bottom, and then they somehow connect the faucet to the base plate, and then of course these two connect the base plate to the sink. So let's get those on so that everything is stable, and get the weight put on for the sprayer. Okay, so I got smart before I made a total mess, and I turned off the main water. It seems that this valve, well, what happened was the adapter in the top came out with the old pipe. So I had to disconnect that, and then I got it in nice and tight. So hopefully that solves the problem. Now this did leak pretty much straight down and did start coming out downstairs. So the water damage that we found downstairs, well, pretty obvious. It came from probably a leaky sink. So, but I believe I've got it all hooked up now. Fingers crossed that there is no more leaking. So we will go turn it on. So in that access panel, there's one on the far left. Start with that one.
The far left, okay. Can I just bring it down?
Whatever direction it's gonna go.
Okay. Going. All right, it's all the way on.
Okay, so there's two pipes down there at the main. I don't know where one of them goes, but one of them is here. Okay, go ahead and turn on the other one. Okay, I just heard pressure. And let's see here. It's still wet from previously, so I don't know if that's from right now. I don't think so. Let me see if I can dry it off back there. I'm pretty sure that is not leaking. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this one on, which should be the hot. and do a test up here. Get hot coming out. There we go, that's the one I want. And I've got hot, so that is correct. Okay. Nothing here, which would be the cold. So let's turn this one on. Whoa. Okay. So the cold runs through this apparently, and that connection was not tight. I don't know. It doesn't seem to have a mechanical connection. It just like slides on. I'm not crazy about that, and you can see why. Oh, I know what I'm missing. Now I get it. So the instructions were not terribly helpful for this installation, because they gave instructions for like 3 different faucets all in one, and they could have done it in a much better way. It would have made it more clear. They were pretty much useless. Bring this out and get some more water. But now I see there's another piece in here that I didn't understand how it was supposed to go on, and now I know what it does. It keeps this line together. So get some of this water soaked up here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I should probably just take these 2 boxes out. Those garbage bags, so nothing really harmed. But just from that water, this whole thing right here is totally bulging up. So I know we've mentioned it before, and we will mention it again. We are planning to remodel the kitchen, and I was thinking that would be a couple years down the road, but the more time I spend doing stuff like this, the sooner I want to do it and turn it into the kitchen that we want. All right, I think I've just about got this. Now let me get that connected. Dry off this box a little bit. Okay. So the piece I'm missing is this coupler right here. This goes on and keeps that from coming apart. Okay. So I'll need both hands to do it, so I'll show you when I'm done. All right, there we go. So I was missing that piece before, so it just popped off. I don't know that I have a ton of confidence in just that plastic, but it's on there. Let's test it again. That seems to be working. So we'll watch it closely, make sure that there's no leaks, especially downstairs. We'll make sure that that dries up appropriately. The other thing I've seen recently, I don't remember where it was, but somebody put this on and put this like right in the front. It's not what it's supposed to be. It's totally awkward that way. So off to the side is how it's intended. And now I might be able to use the wand to fill up the water filter. That would be nice, not have to use pitchers all the time. Well, that was a little bit of an adventure, but overall we made it. It's installed. Does not appear to be leaking now that everything is hooked up. So, and There's a lot more space here than the old one. The old one was like this tall off the sink. So this will be nice. And then of course the moving hose. So we'll decide what we're gonna do with the soap dispenser. Like I said, we wash on this side, rinse on this side, and then go into the dryer. And so the soap, if we put it right here, would be the wrong side. So we may not use that. We'll think about it a little bit. That's a pretty straightforward homeowner project. Thankfully I had some experience. Like I said, the instructions were not very helpful. If I had not done this before, I would have been totally lost. So a little experience would help, at least with this particular Delta product. I want to thank you for tuning in. We've got lots more coming up, some little, some big. So if you want to follow along with our home projects, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified when we drop new videos. I try to be consistent, but as we are still getting organized, I can't always get to it. So just bear with me, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.